The draft coverage keeps on rolling on as we've got another prospect interview for you. Today, I am talking to Chase Coward, a goaltender who plays for the Red Deer Rebels. And we're talking all things goalie, we're talking all things WHL, we're talking all things draft. And what's BOA? Find out today on Locked On Blue Jackets.
Locked On Blue Jackets, your daily podcast on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Blue Jackets. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am, as always, your host, Jay Foster, here to bring you yet more draft coverage and someone else who could potentially be a Columbus Blue Jacket in just a couple of weeks' time. Before we get started, I want to thank everyone for making this your first listen of the day every day. Locked On Blue Jackets is free and available on all podcast platforms and also on YouTube. So if you haven't got involved in YouTube yet, then why not? Is the question I am asking you. But today we are talking to Chase Coward. He is a goalie, like I said at the top of the show, playing for the Red Deer Rebels over in the WHL. And we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about the draft, about his playing style, about the WHL, and some fun superstitions as well. So we're going to get into all of that in just a minute. So we've got another prospect interview today. We are talking to Chase Coward. He is a goaltender currently playing for the Red Deer Rebels over in the WHL. How's it going, Chase?
I'm doing good. You?
I am doing pretty good. It's raining a lot here, but it's always raining here. So
yeah, I think it's pretty windy here. So
you good?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I think let's get straight into it. I wonder if you could just tell me and my listeners just a little bit about you, your hockey journey, like just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I grew up playing hockey all through like Swift Current minor hockey, like my hometown. Started when I was around 4. Probably became a goalie around a novice, and then I went to Prairie Hockey Academy for 2 years in my second year Bantam, first year midget, and then I played second year midget in Moose Jaw, AAA in the Saskatchewan Hockey League there, and then I ended up in Red Deer for their belt season.
So when did you realize that like being drafted was something that was possible? Was there a moment where you kind of like realized, oh, this is kind of where my hockey playing career is going, or?
Yeah, it was always a big goal of mine. I kind of didn't know what was going to happen my first draft year with being Colton. I didn't really play much. Then kind of the start of this year, I kind of got some interest and I started playing good. And then I'm like, okay, like maybe if I keep this up and stay consistent, I might be able to get drafted in the summer.
Yeah. How are you feeling going into the draft? Are you nervous, excited, a little bit of both?
Yeah, a little nervous and excited. I'm just trying to keep busy to kind of calm those nerves and the excitement down, so to say.
Yeah, I get like nervous for you guys when I'm watching the draft. So like I can't imagine what it's like actually going through it, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it'd be cool to get drafted, but if I don't, it won't be the end of the world kind of thing. Just keep training and go show.
The hockey will still be there if it's it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about you as a player. Like you get drafted next week. What kind of player is the team gonna be getting from you?
Very like fundamental guy. Like I like to stick to my like fundamentals of skating and post play and all that, and then just like a calm essence in the net that can just like calm the game down or slow it down, or kind of just that calm, steady, consistent play style.
Is there a player that you kind of model your game after?
Yeah, I kind of growing up, it was Landon Bow. I used to build him here He used to stay with us, so he had a big influence on my career. Now that I've kind of got older, feel like I'm kind of Thatcher Demko play style, the calm, collected, but if I have to make a big save, I can kind of deal.
Yeah, I play beer league goalie over
Oh,
here, and I've always kind of compared myself to like that Jonathan Quick, like flailing cat with a laser pointer style, and I'm always so envious of guys who can be like calm and collected in the net because I always feel like I just lose it immediately.
Yeah, no, I've had moments where I've been everywhere, but I try to limit those as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure. For your team's sake, if nothing else.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming up in a minute, I've got more of my conversation with Chase, but first I want to tell you about BetOnline because it is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports information. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including, well, you could find the playoffs there, but obviously the playoffs are over. I bet you could find the odds for the next Stanley Cup over on BetOnline. You can find baseball stats, you can find football, you can find any sport, all of the sports, any and all sports. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And they remain the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including things like MMA, boxing, golf. I personally wouldn't bet on horse racing, but I bet you could do it at betonline.net. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action because BetOnline is where the game starts. So, is there anything that you like want to specifically work on over the summer? Like any, not necessarily holes in your game, but is there anything that you think, right, I've been drafted. This is what I need to do to make sure I have as strong a showing in training camp as possible?
Yeah, just like my ability, like my puck handling ability, and then my ability to like track pucks and like anticipate plays before they happen, like ice awareness, kind of just bring that up another notch to maybe like I guess to help me rely on my fundamentals more and not get out of position as much and beat them on my feet, and kind of that leads into my tracking. So
Yeah, for sure. Also, I got to ask, being a goalie, superstitions? Yes, no. If you do, can you tell us what they are, or is it a secret?
no, I can tell you, I wear the same suit if I play, no socks. My parents love that one. I listen to kind of the same songs before games, and then I kind of roughly stretch and take my stick kind of at the same time, roughly.
Yeah, it's little things, isn't it? Like I always say that I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious, you know. But which I think is a quote from a TV show from the 90s. But I got to ask you. So I was looking through the media kit that your agent sent over, and there was one bit that I really loved, and I want to ask about being Ollie. Where did that come from? Is that like, did you come up with that? Is that a family thing? Like, can you talk a little bit about being Ollie? Because that was something that I thought was really kind of unique and made you stand out in my eyes.
Yeah. So my buddy has a cat, and his name's Ollie, and it's like I forget what breed it is. It's like fluffy and big eyes, very clueless, kind of like doesn't know what's going on. So it's like I wrote that, and I kind of have that be able as a saying for when I'm like high pressure situations or feeling stressed or anxious about the game. I just kind of read that, and then it's like just being Ollie and just trust my instincts, and like everything that I've worked for, just kind of go blank mind and let my body take control of me.
God, yeah, that's a really good way to kind of live your general life. I think not even just hockey, but like if you're stressed, then just stop thinking about everything.
Yeah.
So obviously you play in the WHL, you play for Red Deer. Did you always want to go WHL? Was there other options? Is that like how did you end up in Red Deer specifically, I guess?
Yeah, there was always kind of growing up the like big discussion between NCAA and WHL, but we were around the Broncos a lot when I was younger, and I kind of seen that lifestyle, and that was kind of the lifestyle I wanted to live. And then Red Deer thankfully gave me the opportunity to play in the league, and then I just kind of kept going from there.
The thing that always gets me about the CHL and like the WHL specifically is those bus rides. Like they have to be killer. Like how do you chill? How do you prep for games? Like what's it like when you're going from like Red Deer to I don't know like Everett or Seattle or Vancouver or somewhere? Like how do you stay ready to
We
go?
haven't done one of those BC or States trips. We did a Brandon trip this year, and we did them over the night. So you just like watch a movie and then go to bed on the bus, and then you'd wake up in Brandon, and then you go about your day. But it's a lot of like sleep and movies. And if you're going for a game, I try not to like watch a movie or sleep or anything. Just kind of stay awake and ready for the game because those bus trips aren't too long.
Yeah, I don't know, like especially being a goalie having long legs, like it can't be super comfortable on on those buses.
Yeah, we do like a guy on the seats up top and then a guy lays underneath, so you get a little more leg room.
Gotcha. I guess you guys probably have a pretty good system by now.
Yeah, yeah, it's we have it to science by the end of the year.
Yeah. So coming up in just a minute, we are going to be talking a little bit more about the draft with Chase. That's coming up next on Locked On Blue Jackets. So speaking of like long road trips and stuff, what's your favorite arena to play in? Apart from obviously, your home one is the best one, obviously. But
Yeah.
where else do you like to play?
Well, I guess Swift currently. I've grown up playing in that rink, so that's obviously a favorite. I didn't mind Brandon in the playoffs just because it got pretty full in there and the crowd was pretty electric. But like just rank wise, I'd probably say kind of like Moose Shaw.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of WHL games. I went to a couple of games over in Victoria.
Yeah,
That's a pretty fun rink. They get pretty rowdy in there.
yeah. I've heard stories about those BC and States teams. We haven't. I think we're
Yeah,
going there this year, but I haven't been there yet, so I'm excited for that.
yeah. What's been your kind of best memory of like either the season or your best memory playing with Red Deer so far?
Probably my probably my first win last year in the bubble. It was against Edmonton, and they were superstar team last year too. And we were not the greatest. And I came in end of the year, and we won the game, and everyone was just so like pumped and thrilled after a long bubble and everything. And just kind of remember that feeling in the locker room and feeling I had. Just kind of started my career of success in the league and further out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's always the first win is just a little bit more special than
Yeah.
all the others, isn't it? So I want to go back to the draft for a little bit. Like obviously we had kind of your scouting report on you earlier. Do you pay attention to like rankings or like scouting reports or anything like that, or do you just kind of play your game, don't worry about it, like that's out of your control?
Yeah, I'm kind of more the like if I'm on it, I'm on it, and if I'm not, I'm not. Like it's not going to affect how I go out there and play. I'm just going to go play how I would either way. And then if someone likes me and someone doesn't, it's whatever. Like just kind of go out there and do my thing and control what I can control, essentially.
Yeah, stop the pucks and
Yeah,
anything else is anything else.
yeah, pretty much.
Do you have plans for the draft? Are you going to be sitting at home watching, or are you kind of doing something to take your
Uh,
mind off it?
Schedule pending. I think I'm gonna be on the ice in the morning for sure. Then I don't know if I'll be on the ice in the afternoon or if I'll watch it. I won't be home though. I'll be up in Edmonton skating, but I might watch it with some like family friends and family up there.
Yeah, I can never decide whether it's worse like watching and waiting, or if you just don't pay attention and wait for like a phone call or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be the one that just waits for a phone call.
So with this being, locked on Blue Jackets, I wanted to ask, are you familiar with anyone on the Blue Jackets? I know hockey is a super small world. I
Yeah.
don't think we have a ton of Canadians, but is there anyone that you are kind of familiar with?
Yeah, I used to play a bit of hockey with Cole Sillinger.
Mm.
So I know him pretty well. I grew up kind of playing some tournaments with him, and we've always been playing against each other in the, I guess, Sask Hockey League.
Yeah. Yeah, we love him here. So he did really great this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of everything I had on my big list of questions. Is there anything that kind of we haven't talked about that you maybe want to mention? Is there anything that any questions that you think I haven't asked that you want to make sure that people know about you? Anything like that?
No, I think you've covered everything.
Awesome. I will give myself a pat on the back for that then. Yeah, thanks for giving up some of your afternoon, evening. I don't know what the time zones are like over there, but yeah, thanks for giving up some time to come and have a chat.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, good luck in the draft.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's all I've got for you today. Tomorrow we will have another prospect interview. I'm going to be talking to Tyler Palmer of the Victoria Royals about, well, again, all things goaltending, all things draft, and his favorite thing about living on a tiny island off the coast of Vancouver. And yeah, that's what's coming up tomorrow. Super excited about that. I've been Jay Foster. You can find me on Twitter at _Jacob Foster, JAKOBFORSTER. You can find this podcast at LO_Blue Jackets. If you have comments, questions, criticisms, you can email me at lockedonbluejackets@gmail.com. If you have not already, then I am on YouTube. Go hit the subscribe button over there, hit the like button, hit the watch button, whatever you do on YouTube. I appreciate it. And thank you for making this your first or your second or your third watch, listen of the day. I super appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. So shout out to you guys for that. And until tomorrow, make sure you stay locked on.